the question, what made you get into building pedals? And when did it start?
I built pedals longer than I started the company, of course, but I started the company because I had no other job. And I was not getting one. So I thought this might be the perfect time to listen to everybody else and just do it. And make a Facebook page and get the papers from the city and doing that like full-time officially. And I was scared because it's very complicated in Germany to be self-employed, because you have to do a lot of awful paperwork that is way more complicated than like making a whole company. And this is very complicated in taxes and like in insurance and whatever. But if you have that done, then it's pretty easy. Regulations, whatever German stuff, the Germans know. And and yeah, if you had that ready, and this took like years and months and lots of hard work, the whole company thing is actually pretty easy. You get just like loyal employees that might be friends and pay them enough so they are all happy and you have a good working company. Pretty easy. But I'm building on gear stuff for like 22 years or 20 years. Like I was 14 because I painted one of my first guitars black because it was red, and I ripped all the cables apart, and the local music store told me I drilled the cables because I have no soldering iron, because I don't know how to fix cables or whatever, and they showed me how to solder cables. This was a local music store, by the way. And they showed me how to do that on my own. And then I got a soldering iron and repaired stuff for friends. Then I started doing like the first kits and working normal jobs. And then 10 years later, I decided to do that because friends are like buying my pedals, and I was refusing the money at first because I was way too cool to take money for my art. And as a jobless, stupid kid, I told a friend that I was getting like 200 euros for a pedal if I do that, and I asked him if I'm still cool if I'm doing that, you know. I was like 23, 4, whatever. And he was like, yeah, are you stupid to avoid that? And I was like, he might be on something. And yeah, I did that. And I was one of the third wave of boutique pedals in Germany. So there was just like the old ones like Occo and Orion, and that's it. And there was Enrico from KMA and me, and that's it. And it was like an empty party, and the whole buffet was for us. And now everyone is building pedals. It's the fourth wave, as I call them. But they are gone mostly now because of COVID, or because in Germany you have to you get a big tax wave of the second or third year, and most companies that are self-employed are closing after the third year because of that. And most companies did, because Germany is complicated.
So I got a question for you, Chris. When it comes to your business, how I perceive JPTR FX is that this for you is not just about the money, but it is about having a vision, and it's also something you're passionate about. Because I was talking with different people in this industry, and they're saying, you know, you sell pedals, you're not doing it just for the money, because it's hard to compete out there. There's, like you were saying earlier, there's a lot of companies out there. But I get the impression that people like yourself, you're doing this because you're really passionate about what you're doing. So is this your philosophy? Is it more about like the self-expression, putting like the right product in the right consumer's hands? Like, what is the philosophy behind Jupiter FX?
I have to lie if I would tell you like it's only about passion. Of course, it's a bit of money, and
Yep.
money makes living easy. And I like to pay my employees well. I like to have money. I like to live well. But after that, I do what I want, and I design what I like. And people just buying because they know there is this crazy German guy who makes like weird noise music for the last 20 years, and what he thinks is good might be as good for me. And this is my selling point of the company. It's just like, not just like, oh, here's a tube screamer, but it has a pentagram on it. You know, it's this is what most pedals do, but it's I think it works, to be honest. When it works, it works. But I see my stuff more like my own signature stuff, or like an art thing. You know, it's for me, it's like a tool that I create for something specific. You don't get like the slash whatever rhythm sound on a pedal. You might get, of course, but like a catastrophe pedal is way more, and it's designed to do way more than just like being a distortion pedal.
So
I just do what I like, and people just buying because they see, I need a muff, but muff is not extreme enough for me. This person shows me there are the extreme stuff, and I like that for that tool. For a song that I have, that I need this kind of sound.
So basically, what you're doing is selling your taste, right? What you like in pedals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you ever were in the situation where you needed like a super extreme sound? It's like stacking 3 overdrives or whatever. You don't have to do that with our pedals because it's the sound already.
Yeah, that was something that was something that was something that when I first saw your pedals, that was back in 2017. The first time I saw them, I was like, not only do they, and I mean, I only saw the demos that were available at the time, which most of them you did yourself. But I thought, okay, not only do they not only do they sound different, but also like visually they were made in a complete different way. They just looked different to everything else. Everything else had like a color and like some graphics on, and your pedals were not fitting into like a specific category. Sonically and visually. Was that
yeah? And also I have to. I'm sorry. Also, I have to make sure that every normal thing is also available on the pedal. I hate to do like one-trick ponies because I think it's a waste of money, and it's not that we are like cheap, but we're also not like very expensive, but it's more on the expensive side. But if you spend like hard-earned cash, I want to give you more than just a one-trick pony, you know? So I do extra stuff always in pedals, or like if you play, is it playable for bass? Yeah, it has a whole EQ section just for bass guitar on the inside, so people don't sell it like 3 years later, because they might think, oh, I'm not into that anymore, because you can just switch something and it works again. This is what is very important for me. Also, we have to talk about that Frank is one of the first persons that trusted in my work, and as a Reverb employee saw our videos and thought, this guy, I have to help him. And he did. And now I'm here.
I didn't know that.
Thank you, Frank.
Yeah, I gave it a little push, but as I always say, the stuff that you did, it was already there. I just help you to get it in front of more eyes. You know, that's
You
one of
just
the
showed
things
me the
that
stage.
I just showed you where to go and show all the stuff that you do, and the rest happened almost by itself. I remember that we talked in December or something, to December 2017, and you called me up because at some point you had so many orders coming in on Reverb where you were like, I don't know what to do. I don't have enough components. I actually need to like bring this to the next level. But from there on, it was growing steadily. And I mean,
I like to learn, and mostly people learn from mistakes. And sometimes you get an angry email, and I get very angry about myself if I get angry emails, and then I'm never happy again.
But
this is how you grow.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's how you grow.
If you get an email from an angry customer, and instead of being angry at the customer for being angry at yourself because maybe you are self-reflective enough to see, okay,
they paid
I
money,
made a
of course
mistake.
they're angry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would do that too. Where's my pedal? Whoa. I'm that too, at some point, of course, because I know the other side. But they paid, they want something, and I don't deliver at a certain point or whatever. And sometimes it's just to make everyone know that it needs 9 days instead of whatever, or that we are building this or that right now. And also you can share this as content for your company. And I found a way everything works because I tried a lot, like really a lot. And now everything works like it should be. I don't have to look at numbers anymore. I just opened the shop and tell Felix and Liz what are to build in the next hours, and everything runs. I don't have to care about it anymore. But it was a lot of work, a lot of